Can you hear all my media I've got on? Got the TV and the radio on as usual. Well, it's much worse than simply the failure to report, okay? And I didn't include in my FBI fraud report past this line here down, okay? The stepdaughter had made the report when she was 6 or 7, like I had mentioned before, about someone whose family somehow was connected either to their church or to the commune, and it was dropped. But at 6 or 7, that's what she did. And I had asked, like, at the very start of this letter here, this question: the defendant had, at age 6 or 7, been capable of reporting a rape crime by a friend of the family, although charges were later dropped. Why wouldn't the same defendant be as capable, if not more so, to report a rape crime at the age of 13 and 14, about twice the age as she was during the first so-called rape crime? And with that, she must have known what that is, right? But she was busy reporting me instead of the so-called rapist, which is what makes this all so crazy, you know? Either before or after its commission, the person must possess an awareness of the crime. You see, she could even be called or convicted as being an accessory to a crime. She helped by not reporting. If there was a crime, she helped perpetuate it on herself by not reporting it. You see where I'm coming from? And to back her statement up, she said I was off at Friends, which I wasn't. I have social anxiety. I've had it for a long time, and I just do better on my own. When I was out in the country and I had long days and I was on my own and could go quite a while without feeling any kind of need to talk to anyone. And I kind of missed that. But see, she insisted I was gone. And my challenge to them would be find them. Instead of shoving me into a corner, having to go to alter ego therapy, which they ended up basically sending me to the building that said that on it, so I would be seen going into that building. So whether I had it or not, I was going to be messed with, because people like to get a hold of people they think they can do things with, like in the movies. They want to mess with them. What can we control you to do, you know? When people get a hold, the wrong people get a hold of a person's neurolinguistics, their internal codes, oh my God, you don't want to let that happen. And they just did this to me for kicks. They did all this for kicks. What else could it be? Pardon me. She had knowledge and could have, if there was one to report it. But, okay, let's put ourselves in her shoes. I'm willing to go that route. Alright? I think I'll tell on a person that I really hate, and that's stepmom, not the so-called rapist. We'll get stepmom in trouble, then me and the so-called rapist can have us a little talk, or whatever. Because with the report that I have on her, that her mother wrote in the letter, she had to be pushed off of her stepfather. I tried soft pedaling this for years. It boils down to her wanting her way like 99% of the time. She wanted to be the center of attention, became a cheerleader in order to accomplish that. They might tell you that she went that route to break out of her shell, but I don't really think she was in the shell. You have to be in the shell before you have a need to break out of a shell. They they were played. If it wasn't straight up that DFS, Division of Family Services, was after the monies that they could get for her in foster care, then they were just being played. She played them big time like a fiddle. And as far as I know, from what I've been told by a family member of her husband's, my old boyfriend, she still does play people like a fiddle. She's labeled clinically retarded. Well, here's the deal with that. So what? I'm labeled something too. I don't have to let that become me. I can let that be what I am for other people. It's like a game, a little act. But after they go away, Miss Karen can be Miss Karen, whether it's clinically retarded or not. I see it as a big game. Okay? And here's a petition I can get and print off and hold her responsible. It's only $5,000 at a time, but if I figure out how to do every one of those 2,100 times that she said she had sex, rape, crime with my spouse, times 5,000, that's pretty good sum, you know, for starters. Okay, and what else was about this? Oh, the aiding and abetting. Um, Most people won't participate in the commission of a crime. I don't look at it like she's a victim for a number of reasons. She was given the task of doing dishes or getting them ready for the dishwasher to be turned on, and it do the biggest part of the job where there's knives. Okay? Why not hide them around the house? Why not take advantage of the saws that were in the basement or the hammers? My mom told me a story of her mom, my grandma Bolton, that Bill Bolton, her husband, my grandpa, had to go out of town one time for something. And she had some guy that they had let sleep in their barn or a shed because he didn't have anywhere to go, and did some work for them around the place. And he came in one night. He knew Bill Bolton had left, and he was standing over Grandma Bolton's bed, and she had a hammer under her, within her reach, and she brought that hammer down on that guy's head. And I always kind of get tickled at that because Grandma was a big woman. She was like 5'10" and all stout. very muscular. And um, the stepdaughter had the wood chopping experience. Well, you know that's a physical chore. You know that gives you upper body strength. She was toned from that, but didn't try to protect herself or defend herself. I'm offended. As a female, I am totally offended by someone who doesn't even try. Because I had been, like I said, a runaway on several occasions as a child, and you just keep trying. When you've got something to run from, you look for a reason. You look for an opportunity. That's what I meant to say. Um, you don't just keep on taking it. You tell someone. You try to get away. You try to state your case. You hope you find someone that'll listen. And well, if there's somebody dead laying on the floor when you get back because you had to kill someone to get out of there, that can be explained later. It's like they say, shoot first, ask questions later, or take names later. So her excuse is what for not trying to defend herself as someone who had the physical capability to do so. All right? That's just one thing, though. How about scissors? She made it all the way to the school with my good scissors. When I say good scissors, I mean Fiskars that I loaned her to take up there to the junior high to do a project. Well, when she came back without them, I'm kind of like, well, why in the dickens don't you have them? Oh, well, I left them in the classroom. Well, isn't the teacher supposed to watch the classroom? Well, yeah. So I had to write a note. She could make it up there with the scissors. Why in the darn couldn't she make it back with them? And the teacher ended up buying me a new pair of scissors. Because that's how much I wasn't going to be walked all over. These people had already done their little trapeze walk all over me, and I was getting really weary from it. You know, pretty much getting a really bad grind about it. So she had tools she could have hidden around the house. She said it happened 2 or 3 times a day. And I got to talking about it with my now deceased friend Terry, R.I.P., the part Cherokee drunken psychic ex-cop, ex-chief of police wife, um, that on time number like 333, why didn't she say, oh, I don't want there to be a time 334, so maybe I don't be in the same place as I know he's destined to be this time. Or while we're at the base, why not run up? Okay? Some people would probably debate the time it'd take to get there, but the sign out on the highway says 18 miles. Coming back, the signs are mixed up. One says Lamont's 10 miles, the other one says it's 11, and they got that all balled up. So maybe it's 18, maybe it's 19, maybe it's 20. But from across town where we were downtown, it's probably closer to 20. So 20, 25 minutes up there, maybe 10 minutes to fuel, maybe get a coffee, maybe grab some lunch, then go through the commissary and go through the BX and head back home, where she was always at. Always. You'd think that if there was a mad and crazy rapist going to be to your house after they got done shopping, that you would find a reason to run off. Why not her? That's why I know she's lying, because these dots people do not connect. I wish to God they did, because at least I would have closure.